not just
Yeah.
the real thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Where did you guys go for dinner last night?
It was in 1940 Bistro. I think 9th Street. It was really good. We had a great day, 4 of us. We had a great time. Just hung out all evening. It was really good. We had a great time. There is this guy, Rob Reasoning or something, that does astrology, and it's very interesting.
One, two, three, four. Start when you're ready. So we'll all enter awareness together like we always do, and internet enter together. Suspending the mind just a little bit to free awareness, become aware of its own self. And once we feel a bit established, more or less, in that awareness, we can extend that through our bodies a bit more, huh? With that pervasive, embodied awareness. Extend all the way down into the earth. Really important for grounding, right? Yeah. Lower chakra, root centers, inner thighs. Without leaving, on an elevator, right? Without leaving, anchoring when you stand up. The heart essence, palate of mouth, top of head, tiny eyes. That sphere, S-H-E, begin to emerge through the body. Like you see little pictures, right? In the area up there. That's sphere energy. Then we extend to each other, inside to inside. Inside to inside. As Bodhidharma says, there's a transmission. Doesn't belong to any tradition, huh? What do they call it? That you own it. What do they call it? You put a piece of paper that you own it. Copyright? Copyright. And copyright. And then we'll extend to our ancestors, huh? That little veil in this dimension and next. An awareness so thin. In mind alone, impossible. The light meets the light, huh? And then extend to all the great teachers and yogis we have met in our life, huh? All the different forms, huh? Maybe your pet. Particular text, person, friend. Because the stability arising in here, right? That stability of presence, which is actually space, radiance, manifesting. Presence, space, and radiance. Then we extend to the different traditions we belong to. To themselves, fields of knowledge, information, and light articulate, huh? Over time. And some may be called spiritual, and some may be non-spiritual. They're still traditions that help us hold and understand And actually, the very articulations that help us experience what's possible to be experienced. The articulation is useful. Or as Heidegger would say, language is the house of being. And then, extend to that dimension, very mysterious, ineffable. Archetypal, the archetypes, the energies, the vortexes, the powerful symbolic experience. The deities, devas, gods and goddesses, archetypal. And there are many different ways of articulating them, to each their own. Apparition and realm. Again, we'll invoke the Dakini. The anima. And then we'll listen as Patricia chants some of the verses of the Kundalini Stavaha, the very ancient Hasmoshaistic chant. So invoking the goddess as the Kundalini Shakti, as the energy, as the sublime vibrations manifesting in us as holy ones. Into that chant. It also helps the energy organize itself in our bodies through the central column.
Janmodhara nirikshani hataruni vedadi bijarima nityam chetasi bhavyate bhuvikada sadvakya sancharini mam patu priyadasha bhavakapadam Sangataye Shridhara Datri Tvam Swayamadi Deva Vanita Dinati Dinam Pashum Raktam Bharmurta Chandrika Lipimai Sarva Kritir Nidrita Jagrat Kurma Samashrita Bhagavati Tvam Mam Samalokaya Mam Soganda Kuganda Dosha Jaditam Vedadi Karyan Vitam Svalpa Svamala Chandra Koti Kiraner Nityam Shariram Kuru Siddharthi Nija Dosha Vitstalagatir Vyajiyate Vidyaya Kundalya Kula Marga Mukta Nagari Maya Kumarga Shriya Yadyevam bhajati prabhata samaye madhyana kale tava nityam yakula kundali japapadam pojam sasiro bhavet Vevakasha chaturdaleti vimale Vancha falon mulake Nityam samprati nitya deha gatita Sanketita bhavita Vidya kundalamani nisvajanani Maya kriya bhavyate Yeshte sida kulodvave pranatibi satstotrake shambhubi Data Shankala Mohini Tribhuvana Chaya Patodgamini Samsaradi Mahasukha Praharani Tatra Stita Yogini Sarva Granti Vibedini Svabhujaga Sukshmati Sukshma Para Brahmayana Vinodini Kulakuti Vyagatini Pavyate.
Just a few one verse. The Kula Kundalini is always looking for opportunities to liberate her lovers from the cycle of birth and death. That doesn't mean you won't die again, but you will experience the unborn state of awareness, primordial awareness, life after life, and death after death, and to all the different realms. She's ever young. She also gives us youthfulness. And she's the origin of the Vedas and all the different scriptures, of all the different traditions. And she's also the seed letters, the syllable, those syllables, like aham. And in this world, yogis experience her in their own awareness, in their own embodiment of this awareness. And it says, let this auspiciousness itself, Sambho and the Shivite, let this auspiciousness protect me, so that I may experience liberation now. And I consider myself her beloved. Belovedness. And so if we're going to continue on right now, we'll lean into each other, and we'll separate again into little triads or dyads in a few moments. But we're focusing on this paper, blah, 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 the translucidity of the gaze of awareness, of phenomenology. And as Dushem Lingpa, the great Dzogchen master, would say, it is space and light, which is primordial awareness and these other qualities. But it's through the light. They're not separate at all. So some traditions make them separate, emptiness and the light. But actually, it's through the light, the experiencing of this light is the fast path, right? We begin to experience the light. So sometimes in text you read, oh, this is illusion. Everything is illusionary, right? You take that word illusion and you let it be lucidity. Just change the phrase over and over again. It will make a vast difference for you. Just take the word illusion as lucidity, And even Winnicott, you actually take the word illusionary and you break it down, as Winnicott and others have, and it literally means the play. Illudere, the play. The play. The great play of awareness, the play of light. It's up to you. It's your own choice. Lucidity means luminous, the luminosity of everything, the translucidity. You should read this text, okay? You can, well, just for one time. But all these words, you unpack them. That the world is translucent, huh? Translucidity. And we're going to pick that up right now. Now, you know, meditation is actually torture. When you actually sit more than 10 minutes. When you only sit next, or maybe even sometimes more than 20 minutes. I usually figure out the day for the first 20, and little itches, and I cough, and then you'll start to be tortured at times, because that torture means I'm in mind alone. I'm still in my mind alone. Are you with me? Now, sometimes the mind can be quiet itself. Are you with me? The mind can be quiet, you know. A few beers or whatever, you know. Baseball game. But that vacant mind is not awareness, huh? It's the doorway to awareness. But so sometimes you have to tolerate torture. You with me? And you tolerate the torture. And you tolerate the torture of whatever you experience. You hold it in awareness, and you feel those extensions, just the ones we did just now, and you will have support, and the flow of the light and the energy and the kundalini will arise in you, huh? When the kundalini is arising in us, it's not always easy, huh? Actually, when it often first starts arising, one is filled with lots of sexuality. You with me? It opens up that chakra. Wow! And all this energy, you're there. And everyone is the eternal youth at 16. That's what I use, that metaphor of 16. And you feel all that energy arising in you, right? And it arises in you, and then you go into fantasy, okay? And as soon as you go into fantasy, a loop is created, and it will go no place. If you tolerate and you hold that energy, you hold it, you feel it, it will then start to move up, and as it comes through this doorway, not the most difficult doorway, the Dantian, it starts to open up. As the Dantian opens up, then a lot of the objects, because the sexual and the light are right together, they're moving up together. The Kundalini is the expansion of the light. The chant she's just chanted, she's gone. There you go.
She's an illusion.
She's an illusion. She's light. She's light. She's light. She's light. So that luminous energy is opening up. It's coming up. And actually the transformation of the sexual energy itself helps open this up and penetrates these centers. And you'll feel them go, It's not always easy. Then once this door is open, because up to this point, sexuality and desire for an object is very located. Someone desires you, you desire them, and this energy emerges. You with me? And the only way to go is discharge. So it's ultimately a discharge experience, as Freud so eloquently describes, okay? And then it starts to emerge here, and he also describes in his genius that the sexuality itself becomes eros in a broader sense. Eros becomes broader. And as it penetrates through here, the energy starts to be experienced. It's still sexual, but there's no object of desire to it. It is sexuality without an object of desire. Have any of you ever felt that before? It's a pretty solid experience. You feel all this life force. And there is no request for discharge. You with me? And you feel it. Fritz Perls used to describe how he was working on it with much difficulty to follow into the tantric path. So as that energy arises, and this is actually what sublimation is, not playing tennis, okay? And then, as it arises up, naked awareness. This is the doorway. You can feel it. You can actually feel the opening. And it comes up through here, and then it starts to really become pure love. And it has this enormous sensuousness. It is an inner sensuous state of eroticism, but not sexuality in the tiny s, but in this fullness of this blissful, energetic, luminous, viscous state of bliss erotic. And then it starts going up and starts opening up these channels, and then you start feeling nectarian states. You start feeling these nectarian states, and it goes to your eyes. And with all this, your body is now starting to radiate to all the other bodies at this level. Often our little bodies or big bodies radiating at this level below the navel. And also if you follow the tantras and a little bit of history, which I love doing, is the early tantras, the early Gosama Tantra, Harukula Tantra, with their emphasis on sexuality, as Longchenpa points out, it's because they're all stuck here. No offense to Harukula Tantra fans, okay? This is a little bit of history. They're below this, okay? And then it starts to open, and then you start to have the tantras like the Godaba Tantra, and you start to have the heart-centered tradition. So some of the earliest traditions of the tantras, or shall we say, phallic-centered and penis-centered. Really, you read the tip, the glory of the tip of the penis. You with me? Now, this was written by men, so there's not much else there, but when I read this, I also feel like I'm 16 again. I actually think things are developmentally over time, eternal adolescence. No offense. And nobody's offended, eh? So then it opens up into the heart essence tantras. And it's the heart essence tantras where what we practice here, this light of love emanating, you with me, in the through the power of sublimation. Say yes if you understand this little chat.
Yes.
Okay. So here from discharge, and this is not anti-sexual, but from discharge, the big O, as they say, becomes the power of resonance, a deeply felt resonance. You with me? And also what happens too in the sexual realm, rather than chemistry alone dominating. I'm sorry, but there's no chemistry. I don't know why I have chemistry with this type of person all the time. Oh my God. You know how chemistry gets instinct gets wrapped around certain type of objects, you with me, known as the hell realm. You guys follow this?
Yes.
The bliss of sadomasochism. Let's not knock it. The bliss of sadomasochism. So, I don't know why I'm going to a Chinese accent, but or Indian accent, I'm sorry. Okay. Maybe a little sadomasochistic culture there. I'm serious. So then, as it goes up here, resonance, non-duality within duality. As Longchenpa says, those early tantras are people who are sexual neurotics. And he thinks it's good. It thinks it's still a path for them. You with me? In a universal way, it's a true path. A-okay? Everybody's having a good time? So having said that, but there is suffering that's involved in meditation. Now, unless you just focus on nice, simple lakes, and you keep quieting everything out, you do your puppy, easy boy. But if you allow yourself to feel the arising of the energy, you will feel everything. And everything arises. Memories arise. Everything arises. Intensity arises. But we feel our relationship to all those self-objects that help hold us, right? With friends, the moon, the sun, the archetypes, teachers, archetypes, aspirations, and all that stuff. A-okay? Say yes if this is making sense. Anger also arises. Anger. The other side, anger, rage arises. all searching for discharge. As in, let me out of here. You with me? But you have to, but as you metabolize it in this light, as you metabolize it. But metabolization is not always fun, you know? Metabolization is sometimes being burned alive. Fire. The fire. The fire goddess. Yeah. Some of the early Vedics were all fire goddesses. And the fire, the yagnas, were all the symbol of the fire goddess. And they were all symbols also of the kundalini. So you feed the fire, which I used to love to do, the yagnas, right? Mm-hmm. We had one here one time with his name, Mahapatra, then. All the alarms go on. Oh, gee, so we stopped doing that today. But ultimately, fire. A-okay? That's a little homily for today, right? But it's very tricky, though. So hold awareness. The Luminous Conjuction. As our open focus, and let's lean into me and I will give a better talk. As our open focus, maybe we should pair up. Let's pair up right now. But without leaving your state. Pair up with whoever you're with. And then you want to feel this with your companion, right? The ultimate meaning in the tantric is the consort is a companion. You with me? The ultimate meaning, the true meaning of the consort. Hello. The true meaning of the consort is companion. So, the true meaning, of the consort is a companion. You with me? And to have a companion who you can be in the field with, you with me? And transmute experience with is a fantastic gift. That's why the true tantras have nothing to do with postures and acrobats or even costumes. It doesn't. It's sort of funny. Just like politics. So our luminous conjunction, as our open focus of awareness unfolds within, perhaps you're experiencing it unfolding within you now, we experience an embodied attunement to the three different kayas, the three different dimensions of awareness. We can experience the directness of embodied luminosity and translucidity happening. Now, translucidity is a non-dualistic world and word, because translucidity is the light of awareness, the luminous light, manifesting both within me and within the other simultaneously, that one light is experienced. That's what that word translucidity means. Say yes if you understand that. Radiance is the swift pass of awareness, and is the swift pass of the translucidity of indivisibleness. So we're talking again about the Togao practices. Most surprisingly, the luminous conjunctio, the luminous union with another human being, opens the unfolding of the multi-leveled different dimensions of primordial awareness or the ground. This is the skillful means of humanness. The skillful means of humanness. There's an opening of being within the ordinary experience of Namanakaya, that's the flesh, and the opening of the archetypical dimension of Sambhogakaya, and the opening of our experience of our foundational condition, or our real condition, as the Dharmakaya dimension of the light of potentiality, pure potentiality. And this is a direct way, that's what gnosis is, a direct way of experiencing the radiant praxis of Togao in contemporary time and place. This is the path of the city dweller, the luminous life of the crowd. The classical Dzogchen method is sky gazing, using 3 different gazes and 3 different postures. In Dzogchen there are many empowerments for gazing, such as the flight of the Garuda and the golden spoon, most of which we've had here. And how I think about this in my brain is that if some of us have had it here and you're new and you're with other people, but you're open to the unfolding of the energy, then that transmission is yours also. There is the cutting through of phenomena, which is the method of opening up of phenomena to experience the light of phenomena, as well as the method of leaping through into the embodiment of the light. So it's both opening it and leaping into it. Are you a leaper, or are you caught in ambivalence? M-O-H-O, fuck ambivalence. Really, you have to fuck ambivalence, or you can sit forever and ever and die in doubt. And even at the moment of your dying, you're in doubt, you know? So ambivalence. Swami Muktananda used to think ambivalence was, he didn't care what response, as long as you are not in ambivalence. That's why ambivalence is overcome by courage. Do you know that? Ambivalence is overcome by courage. Aristotle would call it the problem of the donkey. Now, he actually used a different word than a donkey, okay? But you have 2 donkeys, and there's exactly the same amount of food. There's 1 donkey, and you have the same amount of food. And it was called Aristotle's problem. And the donkey did not know which one to eat, you right? So the donkey starved to death. Leaping. Let's just say the word one time. I'm leaping into you. Oh no, Mr. Bill! Let's say it one more time. I'm leaping into you. It's leaping. It's the capacity to leap. That's what Togao is, leaping. There is this cutting through phenomena, which is the method of opening up of the phenomena to experience the light of phenomena, as well as the method of leaping through into the embodiment of the light. These are called cutting through and leaping into respectfully, or Treko and Togao. These sky-gazing methods are the luminous path of nature, which is really great. That's one of the reasons why I'm liking going to California more, because I'm near the ocean and I can actually sky gaze. With me? Intersubjective resonance. Let's stay awake, no matter what we're feeling. Be in awareness. We can feel everything and anything. Intersubjective resonance. What a word. Rather than gazing at the sun or the moon or the sky, we gaze within each other through the radiance of awareness and through the extension of awareness. Let's extend again. And through the light of awareness, self-liberation arises naturally. The gazing is not with eyes alone, like a little stare, like that little Sargent story, the guy's peeping through the peephole in the hotel, and suddenly he looks and someone's peeping at him outside, that objectifying stare. It is not an objectifying look. Say yes if you understand that. That's why our eyes should be soft and connected to the heart. The gazing is not with eyes alone, but with our whole embodiment, our whole embodied gaze. So let's just do it right now and just feel. That's why extension is actually a gaze. It's with effortless gazing through our whole body. It's like perceiving through the whole body, feeling through the whole body. Just like babies feel through the whole body, perceiving. And even when we hold a baby, we feel our whole body entering into a gaze. You with me? And then you see these great paintings, and Winnicott would point them out, of the maternal gaze, the great medievalists of the Madonna. But this gaze that gazes through. The gaze that gazes through. But that means you have to be out of witness consciousness. Fuck witness consciousness. Pot! Pot and fuck go together. Do you understand leaving witness consciousness? It's not easy. Leaving witness consciousness. And you see books praising witness consciousness ad nauseum. You with me? A non-participatory life. That's what it is. So the best exemplified by the archetypical image of Avalokiteshvara, which is 1,000 eyes pervasive through their body. And also the goddesses have the 1,000 eyes through their bodies. The inner light of the body resonating and experiencing, viewing the light of the embodied awareness within one's own body and the light within the embodiment of others, and even the embodiment in the light of things and objects. Now that's really true. Things and objects have embodiment. Do you know that? Do you feel that objects have... fetish is an interesting thing, fetish. And fetish isn't just sexual fetish, but people can have fetish for objects. You with me? Like art museums. Art objects also, and one object begins to become larger and larger and organizes, and we feel such resonance with that object. It is not just projection of our little teeny weeny minds, although we like to think that, but the objects themselves radiate light. That is why the world is animistic. The more we start to experience awareness, then the whole world becomes alive. Have you had that experience in your life? Say yes if you do. So even things become no thingness. Now we'll continue on. Objects. Dzogchen is a metaphor of Rigpa, which is becoming aware of awareness. And this is also a metaphor in later Heideggerian phenomenology. And later Heideggerian phenomenology is a phenomenology of the embodiment of the light, and this phenomenology uses both cutting through phenomena and gazing, which is gazing through into the light of phenomena, the light inherent within phenomena, within all phenomena. So the light is within our own awareness, and I'm touching Elizabeth again like I did a few days, because the light is actually within Elizabeth also. And there she is, an actual body of light. In resonance. Gazing within to within is a full-bodied gaze, and this is co-emergent experience of co-emergent gaze. In the language of Christianity, this is the beatific vision, the vision of the light gazing into the light. Getting bored? Now, the body of light, the body of light. The openness of the space, of the radiance of awareness, is the path, and the radiance of awareness is the path. So the Togao, in the Dzogchen teachings, Togao is the path of the light. And this is why someone like Herbert Gunther and others would start to wonder, where did this come from? This is not the teaching of Gautama, and is not Narguna, and is not really even the Tara Tantra. It starts arising to the Gadaba Tantra, 8th century. At the same time, Abhinagunta, Zen, and all these things are converging through the Silk Road. You with me? Hermeneutics is a study of influence on our thinking, how thought is not an individual thing whatsoever. Sheldrake, some human beings have the thoughts and other people start to have the thoughts. Someone recently, I gave that little talk last week or 2 weeks ago with Skip, and they had written the same thing the night before. Right? Same boat, same boat. Now, that doesn't mean it's a correct boat. So our embodiment is a massive light. And its center is the radiance of the central channel. Like a luminous pillar of white crystalline light, huh? So you hear the white Tara describing herself as this white crystalline light, huh? And she's describing her, this embodiment of the light, huh? And within this channel at the level of the heart, there's a radiant glistening like the moon and the sun. And all the every tantric text will have this, of the higher level, the heart essence tantras. The moon and the sun, and the mingling of our mind with this sphere, this SPHRE, this sphere of the moon and the sun. And actually, ultimately, the moon is the light of our mind, and the sun is the source. Huh? This sphere of luminosity. So the mind-awareness continuum becomes one. So more and more, the most primary dissociation is between my mind and awareness. Huh? As a little bambino, they were more in unity. Huh? And depending on how it unfolds, it will either unfold in unity. But as things tend to happen, the primordial awareness tends to be dissociated, huh? Through language and events. Huh? But not through love, not without love. Are you with me? Or sometimes through horrible experiences of dissociation, and the person actually remains more in the realm of awareness, secretly, and the realm of mind, they can enter into it. But there's a traversing they do. There's a channel between mind and awareness, right? And that's why sometimes with very, very difficult childhoods, you have the most mystic people arising. You with me? That's why they describe the Dakini is born in the charnel ground and not in the palace. Say yes if you understand this. Do you understand this? So the mind-awareness continuum becomes one and becomes experientially indivisible. Isn't it amazing? So as my mind and my awareness become one, my experience with you becomes more oneness also. Non-duality within duality. And non-duality within duality. Within this fiery light of awareness, there is within the navel center, blazing with light moving upward, the spanda of the energy of awareness, unfolding into the innermost heart opening. And through the openness of the heart essence, there's this upward movement through the palate of the mouth, opening the inner chambers of bliss, luminous bliss extending up through the forehead and opening the Brahmananda doorway at the top of the head, the crown center, and then into the sky, bringing forth sky-like awareness. So there's sky-like awareness in the heart, but there really is this completion as our entire body opens up, and then we're in total sky-like awareness and luminosity. And this is possible, as the Dzogchen, true Dzogchen masters say for all of us here and now. You don't need to do necessarily a lot of push-ups or all those sort of things. Push-ups are good, though, to help strengthen your body to tolerate the light. You with me? That's why some people, without a strong body, sometimes it's hard to do this. That's why those early Nundro practices are really ways of strengthening your body that you can hold what comes next. Say yes if you understand what I'm saying. Luminous flesh. Luminous flesh. But I like to, you see some of the similar stuff in the phenomenologists, huh? Heideggerian phenomenologist, his preoccupation with what the light was and his relationship to space, huh? Nectarian liquid, like energy, flows through the embodied awareness, intensifying the light and the empty spaciousness as bliss, and as spheres, SPHRE of bliss. Sometimes people can see them as like shards of light. The flow of nectar and heat from the intensity of the light dissolves and metabolizes demonic-like energies. It dissolves basic states of negation, huh? Bion talks about these basic states of negation too. States of negation in us that have to be dissolved, right? Negating the life force, negating identity, negating our mind, negating feelings, negating embodiment, negating eros, negation. So states of negation are actually dissolved in the awareness state. Say yes if you've experienced that. No one's experienced that. We're not a sissy group here. So this does take courage, huh? And it takes tolerance of suffering. Paradoxically, there's suffering in this. You with me? We're not simply happy clowns. Some forms of spirituality are happy clowns. Have you run into that? The happy clown spirituality? The flow of nectar and heat from the intensity of the light dissolves and metabolizes demonic-like energies, negation, obscuration, and dark propensities, which we all have. And the person becomes more and more the embodiment of the light. And that embodiment only happens as we embody the dark propensity, like murder, the pleasure of sadism, torturing, the bliss of victimhood, as we embody that in the light, metabolizing it. The dynamic strength of wisdom gnosis, wisdom awareness, is becoming luminous flesh. One mantra expression is ahama. I am becoming who I am. If you wish, you can experience the luminosity within the center of your heart, and this luminosity manifests within your heart, and then between our eyes we start to feel the eye-heart connection, because there's actually channels that do this. And these eye-heart channels, in their very activation, mean it helps us. It's a method of directly seeing the light in the world, right? The Gati channels. You can experience the luminosity purifying the elements and de-densifying the obscurations and becoming embodied awareness as light. This is not mindfulness. This is not relaxation. This is fire of love. As you experience that's why rage, you take that rage and you bring it into awareness and you experience it for what it ultimately is as light. As you experience the embodiment of luminous awareness, you're experiencing the intensification of the luminosity of being in the union of non-dual awareness with another person. This is why the Vajrayana in Shaivism is passionate. So for some people who are not very passionate about anything, this is not their path. And you happen to be one of those people. You with me? This is not your path. You want to find something that's more lukewarm. As you're experiencing the embodiment of luminous awareness, you experience the intensification of the luminosity by being in the union of non-dual awareness with another person or persons. It's like even right now holding this. And through the echo, so automatically people translate this to sexual union alone, right? That's what they do. They translate a lot of this automatic to sexual union. You with me? Copulation. This is not anti-copulation, but the non-dual union is not copulation. And if copulation was really the non-dual union, this would be a fantastic place. It would. Rock and roll. And through the echo of now sexuality can take place in non-dual union, but that takes a lot of capacity to stay in awareness. And through the echo of resonance and the mutual transmission of the light becomes fuller, and you can experience the deepening capacity of the great compassion, which is the embodiment of the light and the natural unfolding of the extension of the light, not only into each other, but into everything and everyone. Let's extend this light into Washington, D.C. right now. Both the near and the far are within awareness. Both the near. That's why we extend it to people at the internet. Heidi's in California. Steve is in the islands. Some people are in San Diego. Some people in Princeton. And there's no distance. Some people are in Alabama. We have more Europeans are starting to come on now too, right? Both the near and the far are within awareness, completely near without distance. This inside to inside experience and is direct and unmediated. Awareness is both local and non-local, concurrently and simultaneously. It's so non-local that it takes us beyond the bounds of death. Do you feel that? Have you entered deathless awareness yet? Really, have you entered deathless awareness yet? Then you say, oh no, this is not for us. I've not done enough yet. I've got to do more savor. I've not got enough blessings. You with me? I haven't been told by somebody that I've got it. I haven't been, I haven't got the signal. I'm still waiting. And I'm still a piece of shit. Unworthy, oh Lord, I'm not worthy. Say the word, my soul shall be healed one day. And I'm waiting for Godot. I'm waiting for Godot. Or I'm nuts. I'm just one nutty person. No offense to anyone here. I see this. Nuts has nothing to do with this. I'm just crazed. I'm just one. That has nothing to do with this. Being nuts is not a criteria that takes us out of this realm. They call it crazy wisdom. You with me? And I've seen yogis. I've actually seen some gurus have crazy wisdom. That doesn't mean they're not crazy as shit. This is one fucking crazy person. Happens to be in the light. Whatever they tell me, I don't bother with, though. You with me? You follow? You guys follow this? Or am I going too far? The Sambhogakaya dimension manifests the unveiling of the energy and the winds and the viscous drops of light and the undulating. Feel that undulation, that undulating pulsation is most direct. Huh? Anybody feel the undulation, the pulsation? And you feel your body undulating and pulsating. This is as a learner. So when I was a growing up therapist, and at the same time at Muktananda, and there was a lot of energy. So clients would come to see, and they'd start undulating. You with me? And pulsating. And now when it happens, it doesn't mean that much to me. I don't, But at that time, I was also really a student of object relationship with some very good object relationship people, Washington Psychoanalytic Institute and the Washington School of Psychiatry. In those days, they had some great people. But I would not necessarily tell the host, some I would tell the host story to, but some I wouldn't, because I wanted to get that opinion about what I was going through from a really good object relationship person. You with me? I'm experimenting most of the time, even now, okay? And so we'd start to look, and this person's vibrating, undulating, and these person, and one would say who I liked so much, and And another one was Edith Weigert, who was great. And she wrote The Courage to Love, and she was a really great object relation. A lot of these really great object relations. And also, in those days, it would come over from Europe, some of the people from Tavistock, and they'd be really the real deal. Nowadays, it's something else. And he would just say, I don't know what this is, but stay with it. You with me? And don't freak out. You with me? Stay with the unfolding of this experience. You follow me? And you could see this person in awareness, being attuned to it, and yet not having a name for it. And I thought that was so cool of him. You with me? You guys follow what I'm saying? So, we'll continue on here. Now, so, Sambhogakaya is the place of the unification of Nirmanakaya and Dharmakaya. That's why we spent a lot of time, more and more, trying to open up the Sambhogakaya realm. And Sambhogakaya is the intermediate realm of existence between the Nirmanakaya dimension and the Dharmakaya dimension of the primordial ground awareness, right? And sometimes we just focus on the energy, right? And sometimes you can focus on any experience and open up. And sometimes there's apparitions, you with me? And sometimes it's the energy, and sometimes, so there's different manifestations of the Sambhogakaya realm. And some people have the good fortune of having that appear, but they also want to bring in Nirmanakaya and their mind also, right? So that's why what's the word, Tom? Swambhikakaya, right? The Swambhikakaya is you experience all of them simultaneously. Of course, if you do not practice being within awareness, and you're not open to the practice of this practice, and do not have any understanding of this practice, this lack does not prevent you from experiencing the luminosity of awareness in a pre-reflective state. This goes against most of what I say to you guys most of the time, but it's actually true. You with me? Because we all meet people who don't practice anything, and they have this experience of luminosity of awareness in a pre-reflective state. Say yes if you know that. Experiencing the luminosity of phenomena in whatever you're doing does not depend solely on your reflectively understanding of the depth and breadth of your own experience. Your experience is still powerful and still self-liberating. Reflective understanding is not necessary for self-liberation. Self-liberation does not depend on religious beliefs. No, or philosophical beliefs. Self-liberation is beyond our mental assumptions, actually. The body is the medium of the field. We're almost over. So our body is the medium of the field of radiant awareness, and our embodiment of the field of awareness is a source of resonance of the field. Our embodiment of awareness field allows the body to be the medium of the field. Our embodiment of awareness allows the body to be the medium of the field. And that doesn't mean we have to have a good body, because I'm so happy to know people who have gone through all sorts of burdensome medical issues. You with me? Myself, I'm a real sissy. I can't tell you. Brushing my teeth sometimes is difficult, okay? But people go through, but because they have the light of awareness, they actually do two things. Some can dissociate from the body when they want to. You with me? That is a real gift, to actually dissociate and leave the body because of the pain's unbearableness. And then when it's more bearable, they can actually enter the body. And they enter the body and they start experiencing the light and the spaciousness, and even the pain is being experienced less and less because it's being transformed into the light. And I know people who do this. Say yes if you understand what I'm saying. Yes. This embodiment resides in the channels. And this is the potential that arises and manifests through the openness of our channels. So if you're sitting next to someone right now, and there's some resonance between you and that person, and you may feel the channels opening, right? And as the channel is opening, And as resonance becomes, even just you like the person, there's more probability of the channels opening. And then you love the person, the channels open more. That's why all this is humanness. You with me? So the body's nature abides within the channels. So the intrinsic nature of the channels is the self-radiance of innate wisdom. So it's rising, coming through our channels. Innate primordial awareness. It's in us as us. And it's manifesting through the channels. And especially manifests through the central channel. The nature of the channels is extremely subtle, clear light that primordially abides as what is called the extreme subtle body, subtle embodiment. And little Tibetan words for this and Kashmir words. The ordinary human body becomes the embodiment of the light. I'm often aware of this sometimes having that a lot of times actors and actresses, even a lot of these people are just luminous. I'm not talking about because of makeup. They have this radiant charisma. You can see it in their charts too. They have these charts where the sun has such a powerful realm. And even though they're not necessarily physically beautiful or physically, there's this radiance that you see, and it's just quite captivating, compelling. And it really is the compelling, it's an aesthetic experience. That's why much of this, quote, spirituality has to do with aesthetics and the rasa of experience of humanness itself in its radiant forms. The organ of the mind of awareness is the bindu, which are circles of light, spheres of vortices, spheres of light. And these spheres, SPHUS, will appear as you gaze into the sky and will appear spontaneously as you gaze into everyday phenomena and will appear spontaneous in meditative practice. For instance, sometimes people see this blue light, this blue pearl. Many people here see it. Just suddenly you're reading and suddenly the blue pearl pops out. Or you're talking to Jeff and suddenly you see this blue pearl pop out of him, right? That is the gaze of light, okay? So as we gaze inside initially, we experience only nothingness. So our initial gaze inside is also nothingness. And as we gaze outside initially, we may experience only thingness. Right? You all have that gaze, right? It's like gaze number one. And then some people stay with nothingness and think that's all there is. No thingness. And if something is better than thingness inside. You with me? Because awareness is no thingness. As the gaze deepens and penetrates both within and without, no thingness and thingness open into lucidity. So the no thingness becomes lucidity itself, light, huh? Is this boring you? Do you feel yourself making the process into lucidity? So the sense of lucidity and the sense of translucidity of the experience of phenomena. So you start to live the light of your life. You start to live in light, in translucidity, openness, translucid. That's why there's a bit debate over emptiness as sunyata or sunyata as openness. Heidegger went through the same thing, openness as the clearing, the seeing, but as light, huh? The clearing, the opening it. So opening, simultaneous meaning. Say yes if you're understanding just a little bit. So timeless awareness, almost done. Now we're going to focus on timeless awareness. Let's see if we can find it. Now, if somebody has timeless awareness in them right now, they're there, it will help all of us relate to it through this, what do they call that field? The field, morphogenic. Who said that word? Yes, morphogenic field phenomena, right? So our gaze is initially located in time, and so we experience time-bound awareness and time-bound lucidity. That's better than not. However, in time, time-bound awareness can unfold into the manifestation of timeless awareness. And our view may expand from time-bound awareness to the realm of timeless awareness. You really want to know this, because then you will have a sense where you're at and where you're going. You're not just wandering around in a fog. You're not just fogged out. You want to have some sense of what's unfolding here. Or am I wasting my time? And maybe you are wasting your time. This is a pluralistic world. This is one way of path. This may not fit for you. You with me? And if you're not having experiences and it's not working for you, doesn't mean you don't have love and stuff, but this may not be your path. Do you understand me why I'm saying that? Because this is not for everybody. There's not one path. This is not the universal. There is not one path. So our view may expand from time-bound awareness to the realm of timeless awareness. And so but some people, devotion itself to objects and to actions. For some people, just doing service, without any philosophical background. This is a jnana approach. This is a knowledge approach to phenomena and action. So the range of the human gaze is multidimensional. Our view may expand from time-bound awareness to the realm of timeless awareness, entering time. But that is really fantastic if that happens for us, which it is. So first we're gazing in time, and then our gaze unfolds into the timeless gaze of timeless awareness, simultaneously in time. We begin to experience both simultaneously. So timeless awareness becomes the timeless gazing in time and into the circumstances of times. That starts to be an empowerment. That starts to give us a power of bringing primordial awareness more directly into time, bringing the Shakti, the Chi, the energy, the grace, the blessings into time and into human beings, bringing the light. So timeless awareness becomes timeless gazing in time and in the circumstances of time. Awareness can both be in time and in timelessness. This timeless time range is the range of our experience and of our vision. This is within everyone and does not depend on virtue or merit or religious affiliation. Who says that? Longchenpa says that. I would think it anyway, but I like to know Longchenpa says it. Sort of for PR purposes, okay? And then also Dorje Lingpa. You with me? Now that statement is an affront to many, many people. You with me? And many Tibetan Buddhists it's an affront to, and I understand it. But to each their own, right? To each their own. And that means you can make a decision. You may think it's going to depend on your virtue. Is that okay? Yeah. If you're virtuous. Or you may think it depends on your merit. Merit gives merit. And merit is useful. You with me? It's like having discrimination in this world. You with me? And having right action. But liberation actually goes beyond that. You with me? Even purity. You hear, purity is really important. And purity is really important. But actually when you break, and each of the traditions, each of the unfolding of the traditions means, purity means something different in one. Gautama times it meant one thing. Narguna times it meant a bit something else. Uttama Tantra it meant something else. Gaudapada Tantra something else. Later Dzogchen masters, something else. Shaivistic masters, something else. It means being in awareness no matter what I'm thinking, feeling, or doing. So at the moment of battle of Arjuna, what's the text called? The Gita. And I'm in this war of absolute necessity, huh? And I'm having to take my arrow and put it through Uncle so-and-so. I'm in pure awareness and a great compassion for him in this action that's taking place. I can have all kind of righteousness on my side and not being in awareness at all. You with me? I'm politically appropriate. That experience would be quite different. Say yes if you understand that. I have some papers on the 13th Dalai Lama talking, and I might bring them in. And 13th Dalai Lama was very concerned about China coming. It was the one before the 14th. And he died in 1933. And then he really wanted the people to prepare themselves and how aggression was necessary to protect the innocentia. You with me? And how at times war is necessary. Lama Gorchen was a soldier. Lama Gorchen describes being in war. You with me? So you have to really know what it means do no harm. And the balance what that means. Let me continue on. Almost done. Madonna and child. An example of this timeless gaze is the most ordinary of human circumstances, the maternal gaze between child and mother. This timeless gaze is celebrated and expressed in the beautiful Christian paintings of the Divine Mother and Child. The power of this powerful natural maternal gaze is made most explicit in the developed psychoanalytic view of Winnicott. The timeless gaze happens in love, pure love. We all have felt that when we experience true love, pure love. The timeless gaze happens in sorrow. The timeless gaze happens in grief, right? The timeless gaze happens with the aesthetics of art and dance. Timeless gaze arises. Timeless gaze arises in beauty, The timeless gaze appears in moments of war and in moments of death. The timeless awareness is completely intrinsic to the experience of living. We have to watch because we esotericize or religiousize things so much. As we become more or less established in this realm of timeless awareness within time, and by being established in time within timeless awareness, the power of personal action arises from within timeless awareness into time and into the circumstances of time. Thus there is this capacity to extend the light of timeless awareness in time and into persons in time. And thus the power of the light infuses our body and our mind and our voice and our sense of the subjectivity of awareness. And the power of the light can infuse the body and the mind of others. And our sense of self moves from being located in mind alone and shifts into the field of luminous, timeless awareness. That is the self now for us. Timeless awareness. That is the Atman in the true sense of the term. It's not an aggregate. Our actions can arise from timeless awareness into time. And this empowerment is the empowerment in the truest sense. And it's actually a self-empowerment. From within timeless awareness, the power of invocation becomes more substantial. And so we have the power to invocate the archetypal dimension within ourselves and within our circumstances. Finally, the light of the heart of awareness as the light of the great compassion. The light of the inner heart essence of awareness is often symbolized as the light of the moon and the light of the sun. And this is the symbolization of the dimension of the light within us. The light is the light of the great compassion. The great compassion is not a simplistic sentiment or even simply an empathetic moment as the statement, I feel your pain. What's wrong with you, guy? But rather, compassion is light of awareness manifesting beneficence within one's own self, within the self of others. And you can experience people's pain and you can metabolize it more or less. This compassionate beneficence is of two dimensions. One dimension is the compassion of pure love, the love of the mother, and this motherly love of the moonlight, which is given from one person to another or to many. So the mother's love is not simply located in the female gender alone, right? That's a misconception. And this is maternal love, and this maternal love is the source of humanness. Without this love, whether among men or women, men, whatever, humanness does not come into full fruition. This compassionate transmission actually invokes a beatific experience within persons or persons. And this is why the embodiment of the Dakini and also the embodiment of the fierce deities is not sex identity based. You with me? The maternal compassionate transmission invokes a beatific experience also within babies. And this is the life and the gaze of the great compassion. The luminous light of awareness as the sun is a protective dimension of the great compassion. The light protects humanness. And the light of compassion and protection is a blazingness which destroys obscurations within a person's mind and within a person's embodiment and brings forth the person's self-liberation. The blazing light of the compassionate inner heart essence also destroys circumstances that are evil and destructive of human goodness and life of innocence. So it's not only working on my own mind as if nothing exists around me, right? It also helps dissolve circumstances. The fierce light of compassion dissolves circumstances that brings forth unbearable cruelty and suffering. This fierce light of compassion dissolves and destroys the manifestation of beings. This is from the Vajrakalaya classic teachings. The fierce light of compassion dissolves and destroys the manifestation of beings who are bringing forth such unbearable pain. It liberates them and disintegrates their manifestation and liberates them from their darkness and cruelty. This light infuses behavior, infuses the experience of action. The fierce light of the heart of awareness provides and is the courage of the dharmic action, an unbound self-sacrifice for the love of others. There's an immense amount of self-sacrifice and doesn't depend on this intellectual understanding, right? And thus the great compassion is a source of courage and is courage itself. Courage is self-luminosity. And even if you explore the psychology of courage, like, what's her name, Edith Werkart did, and the courage of love, and Paul Tillich in his great book, The Courage to Be, courage itself takes us beyond any particular affect and goes deep and opens up this inner heart essence. Say, you don't have to believe this, but you follow what I'm saying? Unhappily, the contemporary understanding of compassion is often seen as a sentiment. It's another feeling among all the others. Or even a simplistic affect. Or even a form of good manners. Or graceful speech. Or a wish. I was once taking an advanced mindfulness course. I want to know what's mindful, right? And it was this wish. I wish you well. Okay. Oh. Such compassionate understanding as in the statement, do no harm, is unhappily used to dismantle the protective light of the great compassion. Simplistic understanding of do no harm creates an unbound cultural passivity that allows the innocent to be murdered and tortured. And the invocations of passivity and non-action creates the terrible ground for sadomasochistic thrills and drama. The luminous courage of compassionate action of protection is covered over and obscured by those weak forms of personal and collective character that collaborate with and encourage spiritual masochism, both within religious institutions and beyond the religious institution. Spiritual masochism. Spiritual masochism. Spiritual masochism. To the degree, he says omnipotently, to the degree that you or I lack equality consciousness with whomever and wherever, there is the possibility of the arising of spiritual masochism. When the more you and I know that the Guru is in us as us, and we actually experience it, not as a little belief or even simply a little aspiration, but we have that sense, then that will give us and support us that we don't fall into spiritual masochism. Where we think pleasing the Guru is the whole story. With that attitude, you will become a sheep. You don't have to believe any of this. Everybody should have their own opinions. And it doesn't mean you don't do service, but you're serving the Guru, that is the light of awareness in everyone and everything. And you understand generosity and how great it is. But you begin to understand where generosity shifts into blackmail, and it shifts into placation, and it shifts into beggary. With that, let's rub our hands together. You're leaving. Where are you going?
I'm going to prison.
Oh, good. Have a great time. I'm so glad you're doing this. I'm so glad you're teaching. I'm so glad you're teaching. Great. She teaches out of prison every day. It's really great what she does. She really helps out. She teaches at a women's prison. So, so here we are. One of the things it's going to be doing too, we're going to be spending more time in California. You know, I have a little condo in California, little place. My grandkids are in California. Enough of this interpersonal gazing. I'm going to gaze at the ocean. So we're going to probably be spending more time there. You with me? And I'm going to still see people, but I'm going to see certain people, but I'm not going to be seeing a lot of new people. And I'm probably never do anything. I'll do energy, light, this sort of thing. So I'm cutting my private practice down. Probably in June we'll go for a while into to California. I'm going to go much more. So we've been very predictable all these years. Always here, here, here. But that's changing now. I've become a marginal person. You with me? I will still come and go. But we'll still be here, and we'll still do things on the internet. But one of the questions is, what to do with this center? What to do at this center? Now, I could sell the center immediately and make a lot of money, right? We spent $37,000 on this house, right? So there's a lot of profit. But I love the center, and I love the light, and I love the energy. So I would like, so we'll go to California and we'll come back. You with me? Sometimes Sharon may stay longer. We'll come back and forth. Like some of you guys go. We're going to do the same thing. You know, I'm going to be 75 soon, you know. Have to get diapers and things like that and happening. So what to do here? You know? One thing we can do is we can still use Zoom and do stuff for our little group. You with me? And I love our little group. I love what's happening. But we're going beyond our little group, okay? And it's just happening automatically. You know, I'm getting all these people. It's really weird. 30,000 coming on internet all the time. And people are writing me from all sorts. You with me? So I'm starting to think, well, maybe we have a seminar for them or have other seminars that people participate in. You with me? Or also what to do here if I'm not here all the time, or if we are here. Because we don't want to be here all the time. We want to come here, you know, every other month, something like that. But we want stuff to still to happen here. Now, that will depend on you. That will depend on you. It will depend on you. It will depend on what you want to do. You with me? And if you really want to do something, but it also depends if you're a real meditator. You with me? This is not just an aspiration, now Showtime. You always wanted to be in Showtime, and here's your chance. It's not going to work that way. So if you actually have done practice, you with me? You really have done practice, okay? And you actually have been practicing how to articulate this. You with me? Some of you really have. Some of you are great articulators. That's why I urge you guys, please write, please talk, please share. And some of you are you guys have been articulating experience for 10 years. So you already practice, you with me? But you have to want to do this, really want to do it. You with me? Because everything arises out of desire. Buddhism arose out of desire. You know, it does. Monasteries arise out of desire. The Matre Hall arose out of desire. Everything arises out of desire. So we love desire. But there's a view here. And if you like this view, and you really feel you're attuned to it, and it's your view, you with me? Now, sometimes, if you like really thinking the world's an illusion, we could have invite you to give a talk that the world's an illusion. You with me? Or nothing is, never ever was. You with me? And so we might have some discussions about that. You with me? But I'm really would like, the Washington Center is a particular view. When lamas come, they all know that. When Lama Norla comes, he knows what this is. He knows what goes on here. Lama Wanderer comes and he says, you know, this is really there's a power in this place, which there is, not just moi, and there's a particular view, and people are going to reach fruition. You with me? That's why I look at this stuff. That's why I look at it. May not be true, but I really want a view. That's a view right there. You with me? This is not the 4th century view of Gautama. You know, this is not this is not life is suffering alone, right? There's bliss here, there's ecstasy here, and there is suffering here. They're intertwined. You with me? And held in awareness, there's liberation through both. This is not the plane of ambivalence. And this is not the plane of detachment, you know, that way. So there's certain things, even though I might not personify it completely and none of us personify, there's a view here that's really, I think, useful and seems to be appealing to a lot of people right now, okay? So it's not, you know, because I'm suddenly now a good writer. I can't spell shit, you know? S-H-E-T. So if you guys want to participate, you think about it. You with me? And then we'll start to enunciate. Just like you guys have, okay, no, we're not going to teach meditation anymore in the morning. Whoop! Now there's more energy than ever. And you guys are teaching it. Right? So now we're not going to have Lama Torchen talking on Saturday mornings. So you're going to have Lama Torchen talking. Who else is doing that? Aren't there 2 people?
Not yet.
Not yet. So maybe we might have 2 people. Oh, you may be doing it.
Not yet. I'm not up and running.
Okay, well, no, we're still not up and running yet either. We will always limp technologically here. You with me? So, but you'll be up and running. So then we'll have Lama Torchen. So we'll have on our schedule. Are you guys going to use the same code or a different
I
code?
use my Zoom.
Okay. You can use your Zoom and use your Zoom. Okay, that'd be better, I think. Trying to keep it a little separate. So you guys will use your, and it'll be on our schedule that Lama Torchen's talks. Now we're tomorrow night. Great. Now we're not yet going to open it up to everybody, but as we're doing it, I'm eventually going to open up all this stuff to everyone, even people who are, and then also people coming in. We have so many great empowerments here. Those empowerments are also we're going to put this on. I'm putting, if Lama Gorchen puts all these fantastic empowerments out. He gives the highest empowerments out. You're supposed to be in monastery, have 3 years of practice, not talking to anybody and going to the toilet once a month, okay? Something like that, okay? So he's giving, so we're going to start doing that too. And a lot of these lamas are dead anyway, so but with great honor, we're going to start doing this, okay? But I'm not going to do it. But if people really want to do it, we'll start to do it. And then we start opening up to more people. You with me? The one thing is we're doing this, though, and I really mean this. We don't take shit here. From the very beginning, we have 0 tolerance pretty much for anything. You with me? Occasionally. Have you noticed that over the years? And that some people seem to make it they get through certain reasons. We really respect, we do a lot of very close, intense work here. And yet we have impeccable boundaries. You with me? We actually don't do shit here. You with me? If you guys follow what I'm talking?
Yes.
And if they're not impeccable boundaries, I end the whole thing immediately. You with me? But everybody here, and we don't depend on boundaries on the outside because we have some stupid rule, because that doesn't work. But everybody has these true boundaries. You with me? So we're not going to be coarse with people, but we're going to have boundaries on programs. I have boundaries on programs. I'm often the heavy. You with me? And I say, nice way. Time for you to go. Out, you with me? Out, out, out. This is this is one side of this. If you're saying yes, you have the capacity to say no equally. You with me? And that is really, on this first introduction to this has to be this capacity to help this, because there are a lot of places. There's so many wonderful places. And we're not so much interested in any type of new people coming. By that, we're not into any type of proselytization. We're not into, we have no mission in a certain way. You with me? But if people want to come, they find themselves coming, there are ways we'll try it out. They can come to, it's like a Friday morning program, and then they might come to other programs. You see, because I've had a lot of boundaries on this. You may have noticed. People call and I don't answer them back. I do all these sort of things. You with me? I just do. Because I actually believe in the protection of innocentia. Something I say over and over again. And when certain lamas have come and hasn't been, or translators, and it hasn't been proper, it's been tough going with them, for them. So we have that quality here. You guys follow what I'm saying? And we're not moved around or moved around like cows and sheep. So that's my first concern. You with me? That suddenly this becomes a sheep place. You with me? And everybody's let in and people do whatever they want to do. That's not going to take place here. You with me? I really trust a lot of the people here. You with me? So that's our first deal. You with me? And as we think about this, I'm going to tell you a story. And this is all part of this. One time in Ganeshpuri, Sharon and I in Ganeshpuri, and Peter is there, and Otis is there, and the kids are there incipiently there. Because everything is all for our whole family. All this is for all our families, living and dead, right? This is really the understanding. All this goes for all our... So we're there, and I always get cushy jobs because I'm a sissy, right? So I'm working with the kids in the morning in this wonderful place. I teach school, hanging with the kids, you know. Time to go rest. I'm a sissy, so I'm protected. Sissyhood has its own strength. Occasionally. And I get this message. Someone comes up and says, Baba says, what does Baba say? Baba wants you to throw this person out of the ashram. I'm not security. I have nothing to do with this. And occasionally Baba would send me little messages. Throw who? Well, she's about 70 smart years old, and she's old, and she's relentlessly causing problems here. And Baba wants you to do it. What? I'm not that type of person. Baba says, you're the one to do this. And the person disappeared. What the fuck? Excuse me, I'm saying fuck a lot today, but it has that pot quality to it. What the pot? So I'm going to throw it. So sure enough, I go see the old lady, and she's carrying on. You with me? So I get this thing, and I make a phone call to the so-and-so, the relatives, and say, so-and-so's going to be thrown out the ashram on this date. Then I set up a little place for her in Ganeshpuri, the town itself. Then I have people get her stuff together, okay? And I really feel bad about this. I'm really feeling, what is this? What type of person are you becoming? I'm putting out my grandmother at that time. It's me now, but... putting this out. So there puts the old lady out. Here comes the old lady, and there's a place there. I can't whistle, but I get the horse, put this little horse. This is very primitive times. This is older times, 1981. Put the lady on the thing, give the driver the money, and take her to the hotel there. Bye. Sagrana Maharaj Ki Jai. You always shout those sort of things. Okay, off she goes. Now that was a fantastic experience for me. I learned and felt so much. That talk I'm giving to today is a function of that experience 31 years ago. No question about it. No question. Same. I'm just passing that on to you guys. You with me? So that's where this comes from. Wow. Boom. You know? You know? It's like that. A-okay?
Yes.
A-okay? So we'll think about this and you think if this interests you or not. But it's like that, right? When Dhammo Bharavaha, going for it is it. Let's hang out. Let's close our eyes. Yes.
I'm starting to do it already.
Good, good, good. So that,
To me, the way the gem that we have in this seminar,
in this place.
necessarily in this particular, I mean, it doesn't have to keep this particular.
Right, it's also on Fridays and Saturdays, and when lamas come here, everybody plays it.
And then how we use that force, harness that force, and keeping that going, to me, is what's going to be different if you're not going to be physically here.
All the time.
Right.
Some of the time.
Yeah. So it then becomes how do we
How to work this and hold this if you want to. You with me? This is if you want to. And it's not a big deal if you really want to. And we'll see what takes place. And we may change our mind. You know, we may say, sorry, it's an awful lot of money. So we'll see what happens. We're going to see what happens. And I might get tired of flying here or being here. So I'm going to be here some of the time. I'm going to go back and forth and do phone calls with clients and things. But we're changing this and also going to do other things. You with me? But also, I'm asking you guys to do other things too. I really want people writing, you with me? And articulating your experience and other things. So you've been here a long time. And it's been, you know, quid recibit, whatever is received according to the mind of receiver. But there's something called none habit, none dabit, which means what they don't have, they can't give. But actually, quote habit, dabit. If you have it, you should give it. I'm serious. So that's where we're at here. That's where we're at. So we're going to see what unfolds. And nothing may happen, which is fine too. But I'm putting this out as we thought how to go about this. And the first thing we'll have the seminar. We'll probably like to keep Friday meditations and have some form of Dakini Day. And then we want to have more weekend programs where we teach. You with me? And we're teaching this frame. You with me? And this frame has a lot of different. It's also Durjam Lingpa, and it's also Kashmir Shavistic, and it's also Beyond. So a lot of different stuff comes into this. You see. But we know what we are, and we know at least I know what I am, and I know what I'm not. You with me? And it doesn't mean we can't have relationship to different teachers coming. You with me? But as the teachers come, they will fit into this. You with me? And I still want more academics coming, like David Germano, and the guy from the one who's it's now coming out, the commentary on the Sovereign Queen. The guy, Namke Norbo's guy. He's wild and crazy. Jim, what's his name? Jim Valby of known years, and the author of those. We have a lot of things we can do, but I'm not into doing them, and if other people are doing them, we probably will not have people staying here. We won't have lamas stay here. It's a lot of extra work. We're not going to do that. If they come, they stay in a hotel. That means money, right? You with me? At one time, we were able to do a lot of things. We kept a lot of people here, but we're not going to do that much anymore. Okay, you with me? And we'll see what this takes place. This is just a talk. A-okay?
Yep.
Hasta la vista. Can we feel the energy right now? We'll focus again. And we'll see what happens, you know? I like belonging to everything and nothing simultaneously. And I really am glad we've had these great lamas come here and great teachers here from Yen Chin and Joao de Deus and all. And we may still have some of them come. But I don't want this to be a show place. You with me? Or what's the place? Kaluga? What's the place in Kapalo or something? We're not interested in that. We're not interested in a lot of people. We're interested in a certain form of practice that takes place with a certain view. You with me? And if it fits, great. You don't. Or some people, it may not be your view. Doesn't mean you can't come, but you just may not be teaching the view that you love. You follow me? Everybody's welcome to have their own view. But I'm just setting the prejudices out here, that I think there's a space for them if it fits for you. Everybody okay? And this can hold a lot of stuff, but this is not the classical dissociative approach, whether it's Vedanta or certain forms of Buddhism. It is not a dissociative approach to liberation. Is there a dissociative approach to liberation? Yes. Is it well represented? Yes. Is it going to cup of tea here? No. If it's your cup of tea, that's what you should do. And if you want to have a center here like that, then do it. But this is not a dissociative approach to liberation. It is an approach of the eminence of the light, manifesting everything and anything. So where does free choice sit if everything is the emanation of the light? Because the light is emanating that action in you as you. I'm emanating that action simultaneously. That's a really mysterious statement, isn't it? It really, we have to think about that statement. Where is freedom? Because most freedom comes about, people think about freedom when they dissociate primordial awareness as the manifestation of the other kayas. You hear this. Even there's some of the songs of Samatha Bhadra, not the one, but where some kind of way we dissociate. But we're never dissociated. Experientially we dissociate, but that is manifesting even dissociation. Even dissociation. Or as they say, the Guru manifests everything in anything, including the clouds. Including the clouds. Isn't this a great view? And this fits into all different traditions. I'm sure this is in what's the Jewish mystic tradition? The Kabbalah. And we have some relation with some Kabbalah teachers also. So one thing that I'd also like to do, I would like other teachers to come on through Zoom. You with me? But I really want some of the scholarly type of people also. So we'll see what happens. This is, things change as we go. However, for those who want to be to where we don't give certificates, we don't institutionalize this. It's simply you really want to have praxis, pure, and that you really are practicing and you're embodying your practice, and to that degree, you want to teach. Is that making sense? Yes. And we have a lot of experience here. We can hear it in what takes place here. A lot of people who come online, especially a lot of these Europeans coming on through academia, they love people's sharings. And people say, I'm understanding this now. With just listening to my gobbledygook is only part of the story. Thank you, guys. See y'all next week. Take it easy. Yes, please.
I am going to the march on Saturday, and I have a number of people leaving from my house. If anybody wants somebody to go with, I have some people who are driving us to the subway and just dropping us off, so just let me know.
No Saturday. We're not going to be here this Saturday, okay? Good luck this weekend. And I'm going to put a song on about the march. And this just says,
So you said you were going.
don't suffer it too much. You go to the march and stuff, but don't get rocked by all this stuff. Don't take it too hard. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't do a little rock and roll.
My only knowledge is
For you.
See you guys there.
it starts at 10.
Well, they don't even start. Right, yeah. Go anytime.